Good morning. Welcome back to Roots and Roars. I'm Veronica. Today I want to share something that's not always easy to put into words. A glimpse into what it's like to live a day balancing grief, parenting, and teaching. It's not a perfect day. It's not a social media highlight reel. It's real, it's raw. And if you're carrying your own heavy things while still showing up for the world, I see you. My mornings start early, like before sun early, especially now that the sun is only out for so many hours of the day. I think that's why I prefer summer. But not because I'm chasing productivity, but because I need a moment, a breath, before the weight of the day settles in. There's often a moment I think of Wyatt. Sometimes it's a memory, sometimes it's just the emptiness in the room where his voice used to be. Then I start making breakfast, feeding the dogs, getting myself my cup of caffeine, getting Gavin a new game if he is on his sleep through the night schedule versus sleep during the day schedule. And then a list of his goodies that he's wanting to eat that moment. The mom hat goes on fast, even when my heart still feels heavy. Grief doesn't wait for a quiet moment. Sometimes I'm pouring cereal and fighting back tears because a song came on. Or I step over a toy that hasn't moved in months and suddenly I'm back in that hospital room or that doctor's office or that final goodbye. But the kids need their socks, they need their hugs, and they need me. So I keep going. By the time I step into the classroom, wherever I happen to be substituting at for the day, I'm in teacher mode. Head on, heart open. I'm working with little ones, preschoolers, kindergartners, and sometimes bedrooms. Those are my bread and butter. But all full of energy and curiosity and unpredictability. They remind me daily of both the joy and the fragility of life. There are moments I see Wyatt and the kids I teach, and the little boy who has trouble with transitions, and the girl who lines up her fruit snacks just so, and the quiet one who needs extra time to process and to speak. Sometimes I catch my breath, but being with children is also healing. They're honest, they're silly, they're resilient. And they remind me that even in the middle of pain, there is still purpose. By afternoon, I'm juggling classroom cleanup, paperwork, and checking my phone, maybe for a message from home, maybe just out of habit for years of being on alert for emergencies. For so long, I was a full-time caregiver for two boys with NPS. Now I only have one to care for and a forever ache from the one I lost. But parenting a medically fragile child and teaching other people's children means switching gears constantly. From answering parents' questions at pickup to scheduling therapy sessions back in the day, or for myself, to wiping a tear from a child who just dropped their snack, to quietly wiping my own on my way home. It happens more than I would like to admit sometimes. Evenings are harder. The world gets quieter and the grief gets louder. Homework for myself, dinner, Abe and I's bedtime routines. They carry a rhythm, but they're not always peaceful, especially on the hard days. The days where I'm too tired to talk but push through anyway. The days I smile through Gavin's insistence of telling me about whatever he's watching when I really just want a quiet moment, while missing a child who should be curled up next to me or in his room watching his favorite show. After Gavin has settled in, I can sometimes sit in the dark or scroll through old photos on my phone or a journal or just breathe. This is what grief looks like when it's woven into life. Not loud, not always visible, but ever present. So if you're watching this and wondering how do I keep going when I'm broken inside, the answer is one moment at a time. You don't have to choose between grief and joy. You don't have to be all hurt, healed, and show up for others. And you don't have to roar loudly every day. Sometimes your roar is getting up and doing it again. That's where your strength lives. In your roots, in your roar, and in the in-betweens. Thanks for spending this time with me today. I'll see you next time on Roots and Roars. Until then, take care of your roots, and don't forget, your roar still matters. Thanks, everybody. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and bless you. And go ahead and hit that follow, like, and share buttons for me.